Hello, boys and girls. Today we are going to continue learning about syllable division. I have a word built with our letter tiles at the bottom of your screen. And whenever we build this word, it's a little bit different. Do we still have the two vowels that are separated? Yes, we do. But we only have one consonant in between. We do not have two consonants in between. If there is only one consonant between vowels, since these words are both closed or all closed syllables, it will go with the first syllable to close in the first vowel. So I'm going to separate this part of the word away for just a minute. And that consonant is going to have to go with the first part of the vowel because if it doesn't go with the first part of the word here, then you will not have a closed syllable. You will have an open syllable. So if I were to separate this word, I would separate it just like this. Lim, it. And when I put it all together, limit. Two syllables or two pushes of breath. And we're going to mark that word, move to a different scene. I'm going to think about the two syllables, and I'm going to mark it by scooping our first push of breath, or our first syllable, and then our second push of breath, or second syllable. And both of these I, we've already said, are short I sounds, and they are both closed syllables. Our word is lim, it, limit. It's also important to notice here that we have our our syllable frames at the top. These were our white syllable frames in school that we probably didn't get to use much yet. We're going to use them now to help us separate words. The most important thing that we're going to do different now that we are doing multisyllabic words, which just means there's more than one syllable in a word, is how we are going to divide our syllables, which is what we've been talking about, rather than dividing our sounds. So now, if you don't need to tap a short part of a word to write it, you can go ahead and write it. We are going to divide syllables or segment syllables instead of sounds. Again, if you have trouble and you're not sure what sound it is, of course, tap it to write it. But if you don't need to, then you don't have to. We're going to start with our word bathtub. I'm going to point to my syllable frames while I say the word bathtub. 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 So then I can figure out what goes in first frame. Bath, and then I can write it. Hopefully, if I can write that small. And my second syllable frame is tub. Bathtub. And then, of course, I would want to mark this word. So if I'm going to write the whole word down here to be able to write it. Bathtub. So I'm going to scoop this because it was in my first syllable frame. And I'm going to scoop tub because it was in my second syllable frame. Don't forget to mark your digraph, TH. These are both short sounds, which makes the syllables closed. Bathtub is our word, bathtub. Okay. We're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it with a different word this time. We're going to do the word suntan, and you're going to practice this one on your own. So I'm going to say the word suntan. You're going to point to the syllable frames and decide what part of the word goes in each syllable frame. It's really important that you can divide the syllables yourself. Suntan. When you're ready, go ahead and write what you think would go in the first syllable frame. And then write what you think would go in the second syllable frame. And you will mark both of those words. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to fill in our syllable frames. Sun, tan. And then, of course, we would mark by scooping those words. All right, we're going to do another one. I'm going to let you finish marking those words. Our next word is nutmeg. I'm going to say the word again. You're going to repeat it, and then you're going to tap to the syllable frames on top of the frames, just like I'm doing. Nutmeg. Nutmeg. Go ahead and write what you think goes on the first syllable inside that first syllable frame. And then write what you hear in the second syllable frame. And mark everything. Make sure you're scooping each syllable. And then I'm going to go back and write nutmeg. Nutmeg. Of course, you can also mark those. I'll mark this one just so you can see what I would do. We have each syllable scooped together. The vowels are short vowels. They are closed syllables. Okay, our next word, be ready to point to your syllable frames. Cobweb. 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 Go ahead and write what you hear inside of each syllable frame. Then I'm going to go back and write cob, web, cobweb, cobweb. Of course, marking those as short, and there are those syllables. And if I were writing this word, I would put it all together. We're just separating it into its syllables. Okay, we have one more word. Catfish. Repeat the word and tap the syllable frame. See where you think each syllable goes. Catfish. And then write. I'm going to write my first syllable in the first syllable frame. Cat. Fish. Don't forget to mark your paragraph. Close. That vowel is short. Those vowels are trapped inside. And our word is catfish. I have two trick words. We do not need our syllable frames for that. I'd like for you to write where on your paper. Where. And our second trick word is what. What. Where. What. Mark both of your trick words by circling them. Here is trick word where. And our trick word what. We have one sentence that we are going to write together. My sentence is, I squinted into the sunset. So let's start with just the first part of our sentence. I squinted. Go ahead and start with a capital letter. I squinted. Think about your base word. Squint. And you can tap that whole word. Squint. Make sure you hear all 5 sounds. Squint. Squint. And then add your suffix. Squint. Squinted. I squinted into, it's one word. It's also a trick word, so you can circle it. And circle it. I squinted into the sunset. And sunset is one of those, in this case, it's a compound word, but it's also a multi-syllabic word, so it has more than one syllable. We're going to need to tap those syllable frames, sunset, to be able to write it correctly. Make sure you do not put a space in between the word. I know we're separating it to help with segmenting our sounds, our syllables, but do not put a space between the words, or between the syllables, I should say. Do not put a space between the word. All right, point to each one of your words while we read our sentence together. I squinted into the sunset. Make sure you have a capital letter and a period. And you can mark anything you see. If you're not ready yet, go ahead and pause your screen so you not see the sentence. I'm going to write my sentence on the board. I squinted into is one word. Oops, see. Into the, mine's a little messy. I'm writing with my finger. Sunset is one word. Forget your period. Go back and mark my words. From sun and then to set. Got syllables and vowels here. For squinted, I have my ED is going to be circled. I also have my NT is a consonant blend. My I is going to make a short sound. My Q and U always go together. And then we're going to scoop our base word. And it is a closed syllable. That I is short. And that is the end of our sentence. Make sure your sentence matches my sentence.